ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good evening, friends. Who said that? Okay. One person is alert. Marriage, family, and spiritual path. All those that I can see, this topic is irrelevant. To those this topic would be relevant are all hiding behind the pillars. Om. Om. Reveal yourself to everyone. The purpose of the temple is to make Om visible to everyone. And Om is hiding. We have to find out. That's the purpose of life. How you are going to achieve that through marriage and family, I don't know. That is your problem. So marriage, family, and the spiritual path, the common understanding is either you take the life where marriage and family becomes your path, or you take the life where spirituality becomes your path. There is no way these two can merge, these two can synthesize, these two can integrate. This is the common opinion. And that is why when husband attends Vedanta class, wife is afraid. She comes and sits next. Suppose he takes sannyas, what will happen? Suppose he runs away, what will happen? Give me the checkbook, go wherever you want. So the wife follows the husband. Wife attends Vedanta class, then husband has a problem. Where is she going? What is she doing? Because of the misconception that the spiritual path and the material path, so-called mundane material path of making money, of living in the society, getting married, raising children, having a family, is opposed to spirituality, is different from spirituality. The first thing that we learn in study of Vedas is, as far as the Vedas are concerned, life is one. It is our mind that divides life into various entities or various aspects. Spiritual life, material life, mundane life, religious life. This division is brought about by the mind. So in this limited time that we have, what is that we can cover about this topic? Marriage, family, and spiritual path. There are three aspects you should be familiar. One is, what does Veda say about marriage? What does Veda say about family? What does the Vedas say about spiritual path? And then, what is happening in contemporary life now? Irrespective of whether you have any idea of Vedanta philosophy, whether you are married and looking for a good relationship with your partner, with your children, every human being is married to one entity called the world. You understand? As soon as you are born, your marriage with this world has started. There is no court in the world that can help you get a divorce from the world. You understand? There is a lawyer who sits on a bison and comes. That is the only fellow who can help you. Who is that lawyer? Kala, he is called. Yama is the lawyer of lawyers. He is the only person who can release you from this marriage. What is that marriage? You are wedded to the world. So some of you may think 30, 40, 50 years I've already lived. I have 4, 5 grandchildren. What is this fellow going to talk to me about marriage and family? I can give a lecture. You're right. Another set of people may say, I have decided live-in relationship, no marriage. So this topic is irrelevant to me. each and every one of us will understand it as marriage and family aspect alone. But Vedanta doesn't look at it in such a tunnel vision way, in such a limited way. The Vedas say you are married to the world. There is no human being that can say I am not in relationship with the world. So the study of Vedas helps a person set the right relationship with the world. If you know the art of setting the right relationship with the world, setting the right relationship with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your father, mother, in-laws, siblings, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, even with the enemy becomes easy. You understand? So the second is contemporary aspect of role that marriage plays in the society today. And the third is the technique of maintaining the right relationship. Three aspects is essential to every human being. This type of education is called as Vidya. Vidya means that education by which your life is enriched. Engineering doesn't enrich life. It can enrich your bank account. Medicine will not enrich life. Medicine can postpone death. You understand? You say, my doctor, here is my doctor, he saved his life twice. There is no doctor who can save anyone's life. The doctor cannot save his or her own life. The doctor only can help you postpone your death, my death. So knowledge of medicine does not enrich life. All these are aspects of knowledges pertaining to the world. There is only one knowledge that enriches life, that is the knowledge of life and living. When we speak about the Vedas, it is not something that is plus 65, after 75, after 85. That is the common understanding. That is why in most developed countries, you find psychiatrists, mental health budgets are alarmingly high. They are coming in parallel. They are coming very close to match the defense budget of the nation. You know that? Mental health budgets. That is because not knowing how to maintain the right relationship with the world. This education is called as Vidya. Siksha is different. Siksha is what you get from UFT. Understand? Siksha is what we get from Harvard. Siksha is what we get from a school, from a university. Siksha means a skill, information pertaining to a skill. It will help you earn a living, but it will not help a person live life. Vidya is the knowledge by which you know how to handle the challenges of your own life. That is the backdrop of Gita. The backdrop of Bhagavad Gita, to put it in these two words, Arjuna had the siksha of how to fight a battle, but he did not have the vidya of how to conquer his mind. So the Bhagavan is supposed to have given the knowledge of how to handle the mind. To whom? Arjuna. Only for Arjuna he gave? Everyone. For the entire humanity. The knowledge of life and living, how to handle the mind, how to face the challenges of life, is given to the entire humanity. And that is what the Veda is. So the first aspect that we can understand from this theme is, what is Vedic perspective, Vedic concept of marriage? The second is, what is the contemporary place that marriage has in today's society? What is happening today? Not in terms of statistics, but in terms of people's mind and intellect, inner personality. And then third is, irrespective of what denomination a person belongs to, man, woman, engineer, doctor, rich, poor, all of us are married to the world. How to maintain the right relationship with the world? Three aspects. So in Vedas, the Vedas talk about life as one entity. You understand? And in the Vedas, they talk about 40 samskaras. So let us say the life has been broken into 40 stages. It is not stages, 40 aspects. As soon as the child is born, what do? Don't say start a bank account. Huh? What is the samskara? Namakaranam, Mundan you do. So this is all samskaras. Same way, marriage is one of the samskaras. 40 samskaras means 40 aspects of life. They are called as samskaras because they are opportunities to purify your mind. The word samskaram means that which purifies your mind. During COVID time, the samskar that entire universe, entire world followed. What was the samskaram? wash clothes. This we understand because it purifies your physical body. It removes the germs from the physical body. As soon as you contact the world, you come back with infection, bacteria and virus. In order to keep yourself clean, you need a soap, you need a liquid. In order to prevent yourself getting infected, you wear a mask. Same way the Vedas are saying, you are sending your mind into the world all the time. Coming to this temple is sending the mind into the world. Going to work is sending your mind to the world. Sitting in traffic in a car, while driving the car or sitting as a passenger, sending your mind into the world. So all the time we are sending the mind into the world. When the mind comes back to you, there is a purification process that is required, or else the mind gets irritated, agitated. So the 40 samskaras or 40 purification process, in which one of the most important was called as Vivaha. You understand? Vivaham. So marriage is not an isolated incident. It is seen as one of the aspects, one of the 40 aspects, one of the 40 samskaras. So what is the Vedic concept of marriage? They don't split it in terms of married life, spiritual life. There is no such thing. Life is one series. Spiritual life, mundane life. Vedas say life is one. And life does not differentiate between mundane objectives and spiritual objectives. There is no such differentiation. It is our differentiation. We have brought that differentiation. So the Vedas say, universally every human being has 4 objectives to accomplish in life. They are called as Purushartha in Sanskrit. The 4 objectives that all of us are looking for from life. First is called Dharma. The word Dharma. The word Dharma has no translation in English. The easiest translation is law, is righteousness. So Dharma means your centeredness with reference to life. What is the centeredness with reference to life? When you come into this temple, there is a centeredness, there is a law. What is the law? You leave your slippers outside and come in. We usually conduct in community centers, in auditoriums, lectures. There the law is what? With reference to your slippers. You can say, I have been attending your lectures for 8-9 years. From the time you came to Canada, I have never removed my slippers and attended the lecture. I will not remove. I will come in with slipper. What happens? You can stand outside, but you can't come in. The law, it is your slipper, it is your body, it is your choice. But the law with reference to this place is, you remove the slippers and come in. Suppose you go to the neighboring shop or whatever is business, you can move into the shop with slippers. The law is different there. When you drive here, the law is different. When you go to India and drive, the law is different. When you speak to your mother, you can raise your voice. If you are speaking to your wife, the law of dogs is different. Understand? You better follow the law. Vedanta will not help you there. You follow the law. So Dharma means how you are able to align yourself in various aspects of life, understanding your centeredness there, understanding your positioning there, the ability to position yourself across various roles, across various aspects of life. This is called Dharma. So everyone has to learn this. Everyone has to learn how to position myself with reference to this place, with reference to life. When you come into the temple, there are rules. When you go to a library, there are rules. What is the rule? Silence. When you drive on the freeway, there is a rule. When you drive on the small roads, there is a rule. When you are in Saudi Arabia, there is a rule. When you are in United States, in Canada, there is a rule. When you are in New Zealand, there is a rule. What Vedanta asks is, what makes you think that there are no rules in this world and you can do whatever you want? That knowledge of how to conduct ourselves with reference to life in this world is called as Dharma. You understand? That is why what is called as Hinduism today is called as Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means eternal. Dharma means law. There are laws that don't change with people. There are laws that don't change with time. So this knowledge educates you on those laws so that you can live your life, contact the world and derive peace from it, prosperity from it. So the first objective that everyone has to follow in life, everyone has to be aware of in life, is called as dharma. Having understood dharma, what is that you do? You don't book a temple auditorium and start giving lectures. Everyone gives a lecture, who will listen? So as soon as you understand dharma, what you do is, you go out into the world and work. You perform action. When you perform action, the result that you get out of it, you have the responsibility to earn what is called as material wealth. This is called as artha. Dharma, artha. The third is kama. Kama means enjoyment, pleasures, desires. Dharma, artha, kama. The entire society today, east or west, there is no difference. The entire world today, entire mind's focus today is upon artha and kama alone. You understand? Every one of us is driven towards artha kama. So all of us are artha kama seekers. Hardly any one of us understand what dharma is. If at all we say, I know what it is, it's been told by parents, grandparents. It is exactly like your father was a doctor. You have seen what medicines to give for what diseases, but you have not studied medicine. You may know what is the problem when a patient walks in. You may know what is the medicine, but no one will take medicines from that person because you have not gone through the education. Similarly, because of our parents, grandparents, family, elders lived this dharma, they studied the dharma, we seem to be having some idea about it. But all of us are driven by artha kama impulses. You understand? The entire world is nothing but artha kama. Artha means wealth. Kama means enjoyment of pleasures. The Vedas say, when you have gained the knowledge of dharma, your first obligation is to practice, inculcate the dharma with reference to your action. When you do that, the wealth that you get will give you pleasure, kama. Otherwise, what happens is, I have everything, from rags to riches, from nothing, I have become something very great, something very big. But the incompleteness is not gone, the void is not gone, something is missing, everyone is searching for it. That is because there is no dharma in life. So the first three goals are dharma, artha, kama. And then the final goal in life, the ultimate goal in life is called as moksha. Moksha means liberation, realization, mukti, moksha, self-realization we say. The problem is, we have no idea of dharma. The business of artha kama is half finished, and all of us want to close our eyes, meditate and attain moksha. You understand? It is exactly like a person wanting to go to PhD course without studying alphabets. So what is the Vedic vision of life? The Vedic vision of life, it says that all human beings, you can't say, I am not a Hindu, this is not applicable to me. You can't say that, because these are universal laws of life. It doesn't matter what dharma a person follows. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these four objectives are common to all human beings. The imbalance in life is because all the education that we get from school, from university, all the influence that we get from society are artha kama impulses. You understand? Comparison between two people is not in terms of dharma. Who's a dharmic person is not the question. You are still coming in Toyota Corolla, is it? That is the question. You can afford a Tesla. Yeah, I can afford a Tesla. Why don't you get a Tesla? So the comparison between two people is in terms of artha kama alone. So what the Veda says is, all four objectives all human beings have to work for. But the problem is, the entire humanity is completely preoccupied and involved in artha kama pursuits alone. And that is what we ask our children to do. You understand? Artha kama. What is the artha? You should start a business. You should take over my business. You should get the education. You should take up a job. Then only you will be able to live life properly and enjoy the pleasures. Hardly any parent says, first learn dharma. You understand? Your procurement of wealth in life, your enjoyment of pleasures in life cannot come out of a university degree. It comes out of understanding dharma. There's no parent that talks about it. Veda is the universal parent that says, learn dharma. Only a human being needs it. A lion does not need to be told what its dharma is in the forest. You understand? Lion cub. First year anniversary, birthday. Two cubs twins are sitting next to each other. What do you want to become? I want to become a zebra. What do you want to become? I want to become a lizard. Is it possible? And Mr. Lion and Mrs. Lion are worried. This fellow wants to become a zebra. And wife says, forget him. That wants to become a lizard. Is it possible? They know their dharma. A lion knows its dharma. A kingfisher knows its dharma. A woodpecker knows its dharma. A cockroach knows its dharma. It can irritate all of us. We find the trees know their dharma. You may not know that fall has started, but the tree knows. How? It is shedding leaves. You may not know when the spring is starting, but you find the trees are coming back with the leaves. The entire world pulsates with this dharma. A human being alone, ignorant of it, flouts it, breaks it. You understand? So the first education, lesson or value in life is, how do I place this idea of dharma in my life? So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, 4 aspects. The Veda says, dharma and moksha are not tangible subjects. You understand? They are not tangible subjects. In the sense, you can't touch, you can't feel, you can't talk about it easily and understand it easily. These are very subtle concepts. Artha kama or your mundane obligations, your worldly obligations. So keep artha kama as transactions of life and dharma and moksha as your purpose of life. Now what is happening is, every human being is interested in artha kama fulfillment alone. It is like a car being driven on 2 wheels. You go to the best of automobile company and keep changing the wheels, the car will not give you a smooth ride because it is going now on 2 wheels. To get a smooth ride, what is that you have to do? Just land the car. The moment you land the car on 4 wheels, it has started giving you a smooth ride. You don't have to change the wheels. You don't have to look for better tires. You don't have to change the road that you drive. You have started driving the car on all 4 wheels. How to drive the car on all 4 wheels? We don't need a lesson for that. But how to drive life on all 4 objectives? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So the Veda says very simple. Keep artha kama as transactions of life. Dharma and moksha as your purpose of life. When you have an objective of reaching a particular city, Toronto to Bombay, Toronto to Dubai, Dubai to Bombay, what airline to choose? Having chosen airline, what food to choose? Having decided what food to eat in the flight, what seat to choose? These are all transactions of your journey. What is the purpose of your journey? Reaching Bombay, that's all. You have a purpose which is reaching Bombay. In and through these transactions, don't forget that there is a purpose to accomplish. It doesn't matter what seat you take, it doesn't matter what food you eat, the purpose is not going to change. So don't allow the transactions of life to consume and sap your mind in such a way you lose focus of purpose. This is the first aspect of Vedic education. Now tell me, marriage, family. In the 4, where does it fit in? Sorry, sir? Don't say transactions, say transaction. Huh? Transactions. If your wife is there, she will say, what did you learn? Transaction. It fits into artha kama. You understand? But you have 2 choices. What are the 2 choices? You can perform the artha kama transaction in style A. You can perform the artha kama transaction in style B. What is style A? What is style B? With the purpose, without purpose. Yes, sir. Completely involved, not involved. I've given you 4 words. I won't ask you something that is not in the screen. You can engage in artha kama preceded by dharma or ignorant of dharma. So all the Artha Kama transactions, there is a dharma. Dharma means law. There is an order. There is a way in which a person has to maintain the relationship. A person has to connect with that aspect of life. So the Veda talks about what is the right way of connecting to this aspect of life. So first lesson, Vedic concept of marriage is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. 4 objectives are there. Anything that you do in the world fits into transaction, artha, kama, but you cannot get involved in them in such a way that you forget dharma and there is no idea of what that moksha is. Destination you cannot forget. It's your obligation to remember these 2. First. The second is, the Veda says it is very easy if you are able to visualize life in 4 stages. The 4 stages that Veda talks about with reference to life are called as ashramas. Ashram doesn't mean a spiritual school. Ashrama means stage. So the first is called as Brahmacharya Ashrama. Just 2 points, that's all. After that, we will move into what is happening today. That will be very interesting. But without this, you won't understand what the topic is. First is Brahmacharya Ashrama. Brahmacharya Ashrama means bachelorhood, celibacy, student time. You understand? We can't say student time now because that is not the same as Brahmacharya Ashrama. So the first stage in life is Brahmacharya Ashrama. And what does the person do in Brahmacharya Ashrama? What will the Brahmacharya Ashrama fellow do, the youngster do? Huh? Siksha. Siksha only? Dharma who will teach? If you teach only Dharma, Siksha who will teach? Both Siksha and Dharma are taught. You understand? Our understanding of Patashala means boring place. Place is Gurukul. It is not Gurukul, it is Guru Hell. Who wants to go to Gurukul? They called it cool. You should understand it is cool place. Why it is cool place? 12 years, no parents coming. All these children will say, I want to go to Gurukul. No father, mother calling and say, hey, what did you study today? What did your teacher teach? Tell me. There is no such thing. Gurukul, 12 years. Sometimes when the child comes back, goes to the Patashala at the age of 7, 8, Gurukul, and then comes back, they don't know whose son, whose daughter it is, because 12 years later they're coming back. So bachelorhood, they are in the Brahmacharya Ashrama, they are getting education on both. The 2 aspects are Dharma and the second is called Swabhavam Karma. Dharma means knowledge of life and living. Swabhavam Karma means your intrinsic nature, what you today call as career counseling. Mr. Lion and Mrs. Lion will not take a lion cub to a career counselor and say, what should my baby become? It will become only a lion. There is no problem. You won't take a mango seed and then go to a expert and say, what will this seed become in future? Coconut tree? Palm tree? I like avocados. Can you make avocados come out of the coconut mango seed? The moment you have a seed in hand, you know what it will sprout into. The Veda is asking the question, there is a seed that you have produced. How is that you don't recognize what it is carrying? That someone outside has to come and tell you, put that fellow in engineering, put that fellow in medicine, put that fellow in IT. There is a seed that each and every one of us carry that is called as Swabhavam. Swabhavam means your inherent nature. You understand? Inherent nature. Father could be running a hospital. The son could be interested in music. Unacceptable to the father and mother. You understand? Father is running a hospital, mother is running a lab. What a lucrative business. You just have to complete the medical college and inherit the whole business. Music is okay. Vedanta you want to study? That's what my parents and family said. Vedanta you want to study after all this education you have done? Even now when I go to Chennai, my friends say, give me all the certificates, Ra. I would have become the CEO of a company if I had those certificates. You're wasting it. You're wasting it. I can't tell them you have wasted your life fully. No understanding of these basics. So what is this career counseling, career guidance, confused, midlife crisis, 40, 50, 60, we don't know. What is happening to us? That is because Swabhavam is not known. So Brahmacharya Ashrama revolves around 2 obligations in life. The first is to understand Dharma. How am I to conduct myself in this world? What are the laws that are orchestrating life? The youngster was taught. And then Swabhavam. What is the seed of this person? What is the seed of the person? What is the nature of this person? Sudama and Krishna went to the same school. You know that? That's how they are friends. Sudama and Krishna. Sudama studied the Vedas and taught. Krishna did not teach. Entire life Krishna taught for 1 hour only. You know that? Bhagavad Gita is 55 minutes if you recite. Entire life. So if Krishna writes a CV as a speaker and sends it to Bharat Mata Mandir, give me an opportunity to speak. How many hours you have spoken? 55 minutes. And how many audience? One fellow, that too in depression. What is the result of it? Did he learn Vedanta? Zero Vedanta. Now my CV is sent, Rangarajan. How many lectures have you given? Countless. How many students have you had? Countless. What is the result? Countless. Who will you give opportunity to lecture in Bharat Mata Temple? Lord Krishna or Rangarajan? Huh? Don't say Rangarajan. In Mandir at least you should. 55 minutes in his life he spoke. But entire life he stuck to what is called as Swabhavam Karma. Whatever is his Swabhavam, he performed that karma. Conviction in life, being centered in life came from Dharma and Swabhavam Karma. You understand? Dharma is Vidya. Your Swabhavam Karma, your intrinsic nature, manifesting as your profession, as engineering, as medicine, as a warrior, as a thinker, as a scientist, as a musician, as an IT person, whatever it be. This is Swabhavam Karma. These two educations, these two preparations were given in Gurukula, Brahmacharya Ashrama. Many people think Gurukula is a boring place. Vedanta, 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 this is what they'll be doing puja all the time. No, it is the most interesting time of life. Even today, that is why around July, mid-August, people change the Junoi, the sacred thread. The changing of the sacred thread marks the semester, 2 semesters. The first semester is Swabhavam Karma. The second semester is Dharma and Atmajnana. This is how the Gurukula system was. And then when the child goes to the Gurukula, mother and father are not sitting and having depression tablets. I'm missing my child, I'm missing my child. As soon as Junoi, the sacred thread is changed and the son is sent to the Gurukula, festivals start. What is the first festival? August. Don't say IPL final. Ganesh Chaturthi. You understand? Ganesha. So at home, you invoke the divine energy. There is no attachment. There is no missing. I'm missing my son. I'm missing my son. He has not even reached Gurukula. You both are taking the car and going to the Gurukula to see the fellow with all the laddus and bundis and all that. There's no such thing. You understand? So Brahmacharya Ashrama, 2 things were taught. One is Dharma, the other is Swabhavam Karma. The second stage of life is called as Grihastha. Grihastha Ashrama. Grihastha means a person who has completed the Brahmacharya Ashrama, and the Guru says, you are not a person who can live your life all by yourself, proceed to moksha. You are not yet ready for that. What is that you have to do? You have to do a lot of sadhana for that. Sadhana means spiritual practice. Can I go to Himalayas? No, you can't go to there. You'll go there and start a Belpuri shop. Don't go to Himalayas and spoil the environment. You will start a textile business. You will start a medical hospital there. You understand? So you are not free from worldly thoughts. Therefore, you have to work in the world, in the society, the Guru says. And then he says that you also have, as a human being, certain arthakama impulses, arthakama urges. Artha means the need to procure wealth from the world. Kama means to enjoy pleasures. The simplest of pleasure is, I feel like having aloo puri today. You understand? You go and ask your wife or mother, whoever it be. Suppose she says, I also feel like having, you make it. I don't know what to say. Even then, so in order to fulfill your arthakama urges, you need company. You understand? That is why you find in Tim Hortons sometimes, Starbucks, all these places, there's a huge mug, XXL cup. And the person is having a book, sitting all by oneself, drinking coffee and reading. You understand? On one hand, you see that they are sitting alone and drinking. On the other hand, they are drinking in the company of so many strangers. There is no relationship. Coffee is nothing but 1 spoon of powder and hot water. You can very easily make it at home. Why do you have to drive to Starbucks and sit with a book and drink? Because you need the company of others in order to enjoy anything. By yourself, you cannot enjoy all the time. So the legitimate way of enjoying a companion is called as vivaham. And then the girl's father comes and says, you have got education in dharma and swabhavam karma from the school, from the Gurukula. Same education I have given her at home. So this person will be your, not girlfriend, will be your dharma patni. Dharma patni means she is the auditor for your dharma. You understand? She is the auditor. That is why when you perform rituals, Shrad, it could be Havan, the Pandit will say, bring your wife. And then the wife has to take a spoon of water and pour in your hand. You understand? Then only the ritual starts. If the ritual starts without that, there is a manufacturing defect in your ritual. Your Panditji has not completed the certificate properly. The lady has to come and authenticate. What is she authenticating? The money with which this ritual is conducted has come through dharma. That alone is fit to be oblated to the God. She comes and authenticates. Who other than your wife will know how you earned that money? Auditor will not know because he is also doing the same thing. Rama half and Krishna half. Wife says, everything has come out of dharma. And this dharma we are oblating to the society. We are performing this karma. So she was given the role of a dharma patni. Better half, we say in English. Have you heard the word? Better half. And then we believe, see, the English Western culture calls better half. You know where the word better half has come from? From Sanskrit. Saha Dharma Chalini. The wife is called as Saha Dharma Chalini. In the wedding, there is a mantra where the Pandit says, from now on, she is not daughter of someone else. She is your Saha Dharma Chalini. Saha means equal. Dharma means dharma. Chalini means one who will walk. She will walk life equal to you. She is not more than you. She is not less than you. You are dependent on her. She is dependent on you. Do you accept? I'm not asking you. I don't have a daughter to give. He's saying, yes, please. Where is your daughter? Show me the picture. Don't be so desperate. When the time comes, you will get her. Okay? Not my daughter. Someone's daughter. Where? He's looking. See, every evening I'm speaking like this. I can't have 500 daughters. No one. So Sahadharma Chalini means she is not equal. She is not greater than you. She is not lesser than you. You are dependent on her, she is dependent on you, and both are dependent, and the first child that you are going to have, even before the marriage starts, is Dharma. So in Sanatana Dharma, there is no childless couple. There are no fertility clinics in Sanatana Dharma. You understand? Because your first child is Dharma. Even before you are born, you are the father of Dharma. Even before she gets married, she is the mother of Dharma. Both together resolve that we are going to walk along the path of dharma. The moment there is a common entity outside, there cannot be disputes between two people. You understand? Husband and wife are having a heated conversation. Now the baby cries, what will happen? Husband says, IPL I want to watch. Wife says, ZTV, what is that song? Competition they have? Indian Idol. You watch, is it? In the house, roles are reversed. We know what the problem he is going through. He wants to watch IPL, wife wants to watch Indian Idol. There is this one. You go up. She says, you go to the basement and watch. Now the child, grandchild or your child cries, what will happen? You drop the remote and run. The moment there is a common entity, there is a bonding. When there is no common entity, how can there be any bonding? I demand certain things from you, and you put me under a microscope and demand certain things from me. There is friction. There is hatred, there is bickering. Lawyers, judiciary system is successfully running because of this. You understand? So the second is, Grihastha means a married person, householder or a family man. This is how it is translated. But Grihastha means a person who has resolved to walk the path of dharma. The person objectively fulfills Arthakama engagements in life. Dharma plus Arthakama is your project in life. This is a Grihastha. You understand? And the Grihastha, according to the Vedas, has two obligations. One is dhanam, the other is dhammam. With the artha, society, the wealth that you procure from the society, you are supposed to do dhanam. Dhanam means be charitable. That is why every religion says 20%, 30%, 10%. Dhanam and all is very difficult. Happily pay taxes. You understand? When you say 13%, 13%, that is one way of dealing with it. The other is happily, because anyway it will be taken away from you, even if you don't want. So dhanam means your ability to share, your ability to identify with others' needs. Dhammam means the ability to control your senses. Artha you are going to earn. Dhanam will purify it. Kama you are going to enjoy. But dhammam, sense control, will purify it. When you practice these two qualities, as a grihastha, you will be a fulfilled person. You understand? Every one of us feel, I will give a donation, don't worry. 2-3 months maximum. What is this 2-3 months? I have a lottery. Next month the results will come. Once this $1 million lottery I get, 25% to the temple. The moment you get that lottery, even if you get $100, you won't get even $1. Give $1. Because the $100 has become yours. Someone else's wealth, we do charity. So it says, as you are earning wealth, that capacity to identify with others, to perform dharma, is a grihastha, dhanam is a grihastha dharma. It will purify your mind, or else there will be endless craving. When is enough enough? The richest person wants some more richness. You understand? Who's the Tesla guy? Elon Musk. What does he want? If you are able to have a conversation, you will understand Vedanta. If you are able to have a conversation with his mind, not with the person, you will understand Vedanta. Because any one of us, you get to Elon Musk's capacity, you get to Bill Gates' wealth, you will say, why will I get into anything else? But having got there, the artha urges are not fulfilled. You want something more. So dhanam will bring you fulfillment. Dhammam, the ability to govern your senses while you are enjoying it, will bring you fulfillment. So this fulfillment in the grihastha ashrama is very important. Then the Veda talks about the third step. Third step is impossible for us. Third step is called as vanaprastha. Vanaprastha, vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means forest bound. Forest bound doesn't mean you don't have to search a forest. What it means is a person who is satiated with what the world offers and is ready to seek the higher. Vanaprastha is the third stage. He is withdrawn from mundane preoccupations of life. He is ready for contemplation. He is a detached person. You understand? And then the fourth state is called as sannyasa. So the Vedas divide life into 4 categories. The sannyasi is relieved from duties and obligations. And the Bhagavad Gita says, Padma Patra Imambasa, like lotus leaf on water, he floats around in the society. He has no bondage, he has no attachment. These 4 stages are not physical ages, they are stages of mental evolution. You understand? You can't ask, Brahmacharya means 1 to 15 years, 20 years. Grihastha, what age we should get married, 21 or 28. Vanaprastha, when should I go, 58 or 59? It is not a physical age, it is maturity of the mind. When a person is able to go through these stages of life, the maturity that you gain out of life is called as, what is it called? Don't worry, my voice is frightening, I won't hit you. You're all afraid. You fellow looks like voice is very decent. Suppose he hits for a wrong answer, I don't do anything like that. The maturity that you get by consciously going through life, this maturity is called as spirituality. You understand? Spirituality and material life are not 2 different roads, they are not 2 different paths. Safe driver, dangerous driver, 2 categories. Are there 2 different people? Is there a different road for a safe driver? Is there a different road for a dangerous driver? Road is the same, automobiles are same, driving is the same. One person's style of connecting with driving is dangerous, another person's style is safe. Similarly, the road in life is the same. What is the road? 4-lane highway. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Whether you are driving your car on 4 lanes with the idea of going through the 4 stages of life, or your entire mind is tunnel vision to chase only Artha Kama, Brahmacharya, Grihastha Ashrama, between these 2 stages, we don't go to the next stage. Grandmother, mother, daughter, there's no difference. You don't know who's mother, who's grandmother, who's daughter, because all are having black hair. Now, how do you find out? We 3 are coming for the lecture, grandmother, grandmom, my mom and me. No, who's daughter, who's mother, who's grandmother? And then we say graceful aging. What is this graceful aging? Graceful aging means maturing mentally. It has got nothing to do with hairstyle color. It is to do with the mind color, the color of the mind. So the Grihastha knows that at some point of time, Vanaprastha is waiting. What is that Vanaprastha? My duties are over. I have given education to my children. They are about to get married. They will live their life. Now, I don't decide what the grandson should do. I don't decide what the granddaughter should do. I don't have to buy a house for them. That is not my obligation. I have given them education. At some point of time, if you don't have a cutoff, even in deathbed, you will be thinking about what you did not achieve, not about what you achieved. I am not saying this. The Veda is saying this. Understand? So you understand that Brahmacharya Ashrama tethers you into Grihastha. Grihastha tethers into Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha tethers you into Sannyasa. Whether you sannyasi, you go somewhere or stay in your house, that's your choice. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay in the house. It is a spirit of internal maturity. It has got nothing to do with walking out of the house. This is the Vedic understanding. Now, where are we? The contemporary life. A young man went to Socrates and he asked, my parents are pressurizing me to get married. What is your opinion? Socrates said, by all means get married. If you get a good wife, you'll be very happy. What if I get a bad one? Don't worry, you'll become a philosopher, he said. You understand? So, from the Veda, the time changed to Socrates. And what did Socrates say? Please get married, because either way you will gain. And it is applicable to the other side also, man, woman also. If you get a good husband, no need to say that, because all husbands are good. So if you get a good wife, you will be happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher, he said. And then Oscar Wilde later, which is about 300 years back, he said, second marriage, someone went to him and asked, my parents are forcing me to get married again. He was married, for whatever reason he got separated, and then the parents said, you're too young to stay alone, you should get married, And he thought he will go to Socrates, but Socrates didn't go. So Oscar Wilde was there, a famous philosopher. He went to him and said, my parents are asking me to marry again. What is your opinion? He said, second marriage is triumph of hope over experience. You understand? Second marriage is triumph of hope over experience. First marriage is triumph of imagination over intelligence. What is imagination over intelligence? First marriage is look at others. Take a random sampling of 10, 20, 50. How many are happy? And then come to the conclusion. You understand? There's a particular model of car. No one is happy. And you are saying advance booking, I want that car. Oscar Wilde doesn't understand that. It is imagination over intelligence. Second marriage, it's your own experience now. Hope over experience. You understand? First marriage, at least you can say, all of them made a mistake. I can be right. Second marriage, you know that it is a blunder and still you want to go ahead with it. Oscar Wilde. So these two quotations summarize what is happening generally in the world. Not in a pessimistic way, hurting anyone. What they are saying is, a human being does not learn from life. More recently, our Guru, I accepted this talk for two reasons. One is, in a week's time, my Guru, who taught me Vedanta, will be hitting 100 years. And the only way we celebrate is to study the Vedas. We don't have a cocktail party. We have a cocktail Vedanta. And the second reason for that, you will come to know later. So our Guru, in his book, he says, a typical example of herd instinct and lack of intellectual application is the way people treat the institution of marriage. They plunge into relationships with hardly any thought, reason, judgment backing it. This is a paragraph lifted from his book. He says, herd instinct means everyone is doing, therefore I'm doing. So the three quotations, if you put together, you will understand what is happening in the society today, in which we are also a part of it. We have not understood what the Veda is talking about as the description of life, how marriage fits into it, vivaham, and what is my duty as a husband, what is my duty as a wife, what is my duty as a couple, what is that common entity that we should worship, we should pursue in life. No education is given. As a result of which there are innumerable accidents. Accidents happening in life, in marital life. So, here he says, herd instinct means just because others do, we feel pressurized to do something. Lack of intellectual application. The moment we say lack of intellectual application, the word intellect here doesn't mean your intelligence. You understand? A person who is a double PhD in chemistry could be going through 3 divorces. It's possible. You can't say there is no intellectual application in that person, because that person's intellectual application is helping the whole country. You understand? So when Vedanta uses the word intellect, it means the capacity to handle your mind. When we understand the word intelligence, intelligence means gaining siksha, gaining information, making a living in the world. So we may be able to make a living in the world. We may be an excellent doctor, a great lawyer, even a psychotherapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, a great Vedanta teacher. But how much you know to handle your mind, that will determine the intellect. So now what is that we do? Can we all go back to a Gurukula and start Brahmacharyahood? You cannot. Can you rewind and start Grihastha? You cannot. Based on the Vedic principles. Next Janma you can try, but this Janma is too late. What is that we all can do? We can follow what the Guru is saying now. What he is saying is, start using your intellect. There are 2 aspects in our personality. This subject alone is 1 day. 16 weeks I introduced Vedanta through a series called Wellness Vedanta. 16 weeks. Every week is 1 word. First week is Dharma. Second week is Karma. The word Karma is taken in 3 weeks. Karma Siddhanta, Karma, Law of Karma, Yajna Karma. Karma means action, Karma means result, Karma means Vasana. The word Karma is not so easy. So 3 sessions, every session is 1 hour and 15 minutes. And here I'm going to spend just 60 seconds on mind and intellect. It doesn't do any justice. So in each and every one of us, there are 2 agencies. One is called as the mind, the other is called as the intellect. We can't go back to study Vedas. But what does Vedic education result in? It results in developing your intellect to govern your own mind. It doesn't promote just intelligence. It develops the intellect. Mind is the feeler in all of us. The intellect is the thinking capacity. Intellect is the thinker. The mind functions based on feelings, emotions, desires, likes and dislikes, whims and fancies. The intellect is that which observes and makes a choice. You understand? Today there is a word that is going around the world. It is called as mindfulness. You know that? Mindfulness, mindfulness, mindfulness. And people are ready to spend dollars, any number of dollars for it. Mindfulness means intellectfulness. Without understanding the word intellect, there is no mindfulness. Mindfulness means your ability to handle, govern your own mind. Anyone you can put in place in life, but your own mind. So, all of us carry these 2 aspects in the inner personality. One is mind, the other is intellect. Mind means ragadvesham, likes and dislikes, desires, whims and fancies. Intellect means the capacity to withstand the pressure and make a decision, to follow that decision. Now tell me, cross-section of humanity, are we a mind-driven population or a thought, intellect-driven population? Huh? Mind-driven. Why do you say that? We all act based on mostly likes and dislikes, desires. If you take today's decision, if you take life's decision, that's what he's saying. He's saying people plunge into relationship. Relationship means it's not only relationship, every aspect of life. iPhone 17 has come. I feel pressurized to buy. Is it a call from the mind or is it a call from the intellect? Do I need the latest phone? What use does it have? Or do I feel pressurized because everyone is having? So cross-section of humanity is a mind-driven. When relationship is mind-driven, what happens? Just 2 points. The first is, when relationships are based on mind, I expect certain things from you, you expect certain things from me. Unreasonable expectation will be the tone of any relationship when mind dominates. What does Vedanta say? If you start developing and using your intellect, you will not be merely expecting another person to fit into life. You will make an assessment. You understand? Even here, an assessment has to be made. Expectation is that I can go on talking 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1.5 hours. Don't worry, I won't go on talking. I also have other things to do in the evening. Expectation. Everyone should cooperate. No one should get up. There should be no phone ringing. Everything should be obedient. Expectation. Realistic assessment is, as you look around, okay, few more minutes we can continue. No, all of you don't do like this. Fatigue in the face, looking here and there. What do? Sing one more bhajan and go away. So you understand that people are not able to relate to it. What is the point in spending more time over it? So even in a classroom, a person cannot come with expectation that I will talk, you have to listen. I am ready to talk, you are ready to listen. But let's see how the connection goes. Assessment has to be made every point of time. When it comes to plants, animals, when it comes to nature, when it comes to traffic, there is no problem. But when it comes to people, we have a problem. Understand? How much ever animal lover you are, will you go open a banana and stand next to a monkey and say, beta, come? You understand? You may feed a rabbit. You will feed a deer. Monkey, what will you feed? Will you call and say, come? The moment you call the monkey, what happens? Will it come next to you and say, Om Sana, what is a meal invocation? I will chant and then eat. The monkey will snatch it from you. So you understand, the nature of monkey is to snatch. You put a fighter fish and a goldfish into the tank. What will happen? After a while, there will be only one fish and it will be double the size. Will you say, I taught you Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is running right next to you in the MP3. Why are you fighting with the goldfish? Why don't you be good friends? Will you expect it? But with reference to human being, there are fighter fishes. There are goldfishes. And if you get a fighter fish married with a goldfish, what will happen? Understand? If you are a fighter fish and you are married to a goldfish, what will happen? So Vedanta says, start seeing the gunas in people. Gunas. Gunas means qualities. You understand? Everyone is nothing but expression of gunas. The watch that we wear is guna. The shirt that you use is guna. The house that you choose is guna. The car that you drive is guna. The way you drive is guna. The food that you eat is guna. Everything is guna. Guna means quality, nature. So you need to have an assessment of the nature of people that you relate to. At least the close set of people like partners, parents, children. When you have the right assessment, you do not have contrary expectation. You understand? You don't expect the person to act apart from that nature. That is why usually we say, for the past 15 years I have been telling you, you don't listen to me. 15 years if the person has been doing the same thing, that means the person is so consistent. Understand? 15 years I have been telling you, come on time, come on time, come on time. Who is the fool? That person is very consistent. The person who is expecting is Mudamate, says Bhajan. Shankara says Mudam very lovingly, he says Mudamate, Mudamate. Mudamate means deluded person. You don't see things as they are. So when we are a mind-driven person, we put each other under a microscope and then find out what all faults you have. This is your fault. This is your fault. This is your fault. Why is that we pinpoint faults? Because I expect you not to do that. Relationship is full of expectation. There is no assessment at all. Those relationships will go through friction. They will go through disharmony. The second strain, when a person is mind dominated in life, the type of emotion that the person will have is called as attachment. Love, love, love. We use the word love. Love is such a rare word. It is not as easy as I love you. 15 minutes you fight on phone. And then when you get another call, you say, I'm getting another call from office. I love you. 15 minutes of fighting. That is not love. So the second difference is the difference between an emotion which is attachment and emotion which is love. Attachment means self-centered way of enjoying emotion. You understand? Attachment means you cater to me materially, give me some gifts materially. You cater to me physically. Physically means you provide food. Physically you take care of me, give me a massage coupon. No one does all that. I give example for 20 years now. No one has done that. You give a massage coupon and say go for massage. Physically you cater to me. Emotionally you are nice to me. Intellectually you say you are a very brilliant and humble person. You understand? You don't have to say all that. When someone says all this, when someone does all this, I find myself being catered. You understand? You are catering to me materially, you are catering to me physically, emotionally, intellectually. And then I say, I like you, I love you. The moment you are not able to cater to me materially, physically, emotionally, intellectually, what happens to this I like you, I love you? You are not able to cater to me anymore. What happens? Attachment changes into aversion. I like you so much. You are my daughter, you are my gem, you are my honey, you are my this, you are my that. I like you, you are my son. Son decides to do a course that you don't agree. Daughter decides to marry someone you don't agree. What happens to the attachment love? Immediately changes flavor. So that type of love which changes flavor because your expectations are not met is called as attachment. So that type of emotion will go through a polar opposite. Attachment, aversion. Attachment, aversion. With reference to the very fact that he is marrying, you love it. But with the reference to the choice of partner, you hate it. You understand? Duryodhana liked the wealth of Pandavas, but hated the presence of Pandavas in one and the same person. Daughter-in-law loves the jewels in the mother and the son, but mother-in-law, jewels that she has, sons that she has given birth, she likes, but her presence sometimes may not be likable. That is because it doesn't cater to the person. You understand? One part of the person we like, the other part of the person we don't like. Then how can you live with that person? So this is what happens with attachment. Love means, what is love? Love means the ability to feel for another just as you feel for oneself. Last 1 hour I am in pain because of this fellow. With a fracture and boot, he's sitting there. I don't know how he's sitting. I wanted to ask you, take a chair and put another chair and stretch your leg. Because I've gone through that. Exactly on the left leg. At least use the pillar to lean. You have that. Very good. All the lecture is useless if I can't see that. You understand? Attachment, love, this, that, identification. There's a fellow with a fractured boot. I didn't see your backrest. Good. I was wondering what a Nachiketa student he is. I said, I must be really a great speaker. You have a backrest and you're snoring, is it? He's relaxed. He's sitting there. So attachment and love. Love means the ability to feel for another just as you feel for yourself. How would you feel if you are put on the floor with the fractured boot? 1 hour. Not 5 minutes, more than 3 minutes I can't. But this fellow is handling for 1 hour. I feel the pain. Nothing is happening to my leg, but you are able to identify. This is called as love. You don't have to do anything. The very feeling. He doesn't have to be my brother. He doesn't have to be my student. He doesn't have to be my religion. He doesn't have to be anything to do with me. But the very ability to feel is called as love. And if you have practiced this love, it becomes universal. This type of identification is universal. I love birds. I love animals. When a person is watching Animal Planet, and then the same person goes to McDonald's, I love spicy chicken. Now, what is the difference between the two love? If you understand the difference between the word love the person uses while watching Animal Planet and the word love when the person is ordering for a spicy chicken in McDonald's, you have understood? Marriage, family and spiritual life. Love and attachment. So the moment someone next time says, I love you, What do you see on the screen? What is written on the screen? Someone in the back who has not attended. Ma'am, on the screen. What do you see? I love you. Do you see anything other than that in the screen? No. There's something written there. Don't you see a line? What is written there? We see something is written, but we don't know what it is. Now, Vedanta makes that very clear by magnifying it. What it says is, whenever someone says, I love you, you see it so small. And then what is so small, you see it clearly. What is it? Conditions apply. I love you so much. Immediately, what do you understand? Conditions apply. What is the condition under which this fellow loves me? Unconditional identification with the other person is called as love. Find one person who can unconditionally identify with another person. You got a Kabir, you got a Surdas, you got a Tukaram, you got a Jesus Christ, you got a Muhammad, you got a Shankara, you got a Ramatirtha. Understand? Including me, no one here has got to that height to say, I have unconditional purity of emotion. It is not possible. It is not that easy. So, all relationships are happening within the realm of conditions, but you can have a relationship that is based purely on expectation or on assessment, purely based on likes and dislikes, attachment, aversion, or based on a sense of identification. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajnavalkya sage tells Maitri, his wife, he says, husband is not loved for the sake of husband, it is for the sake of Atma. Wife is not loved for the sake of wife, wife is loved for the sake of Atma. Child is not loved for the sake of child, child is loved for Atma. Your business is not loved for the sake of money, your business is loved for Atma. Your body is not lovable to you because of the body is lovable only because of Atma. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati, he says. For the sake of your own self, for the sake of yourself, Atma, everything seems lovable. Find that self, he said. So the mission and purpose in life, moksha, is to find that Atma, the first person pronoun I, that we are claiming all the time. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, remember this. 4 stages in life. What are the 4 stages? Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. How is that we can practice Vanaprastha? After 50-55 years, don't go and buy a king-size bed. At least after 55-60, within the same bedroom, 2 beds, 2 independent beds. Because with king bed or queen bed, you can't go to deep sleep state together. No? You can come to temple together. You can go to graveyard also together. Deep sleep, are you asleep? Come. Can you take your husband, wife, children into deep sleep? So there are zones in life where you have to go alone. Prepare for that. Within the same room, 2 beds. 65-70, what do? Within the same house, 2 rooms. This is Vanaprastha in today's context. You understand? Very difficult to practice. I know that. So Vanaprastha and then Sannyasa. Sannyasa is after you have got the knowledge of Atma, whatever happens to the body, mind and intellect, you take it as actor on the stage. The person is acting on the stage. One day he is given the role of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Another day he is given the role of a traitor. He doesn't identify with the Maharaj role. He doesn't identify with the traitor role. He performs it to the best of ability and keeps moving. This is sannyasa. Sannyasa doesn't mean living under a tree and begging and being a liability on the society. Now, how is that we can incorporate these values in life? Last few minutes. We cannot study the Bhagavad Gita. We cannot go to the Vedas. We cannot study Upanishads for the sake of enhancing relationship. That is why every few hundred years, various masters have come and given the same knowledge of Vedas in contemporary thought and language. You understand? Today there is an Instagram language. And then few years back there was shorthand. No one studies shorthand because everything is shorthand. You say what you want, the computer types, your phone types. What is the need for shorthand? Teleprompters are not required. Nothing is required. From the Instagram and texting language to the Shakespearean English. From the Shakespearean English to the Bhagavad Gita, Hebrew, Quran, and then Bhagavad Gita, and then the Vedas if we go, the language has gone through a lot of change and mutation. So with the language that we are used to, If we read the Vedas, 100% we will misunderstand. Because this chart, if I say sannyasa, I don't want, especially today, anniversary day, I don't want to talk about sannyasa, I will say. But sannyasa means mental maturity. It has got nothing to do with running away from family. So how is that we can get these values? Our Guru, the curriculum that we study is composed of 12 books, of which 4 are required for every human being. When I heard this from my Guru, first time when I met him, I had questions. I asked him all the questions. He introduced me to the books. He had only 2-3 books at that time, and then he wrote for various educational institutions. The first book is called as The Fall of Human Intellect. 4 books. Second book is called Holocaust of Attachment. What attachment does, brings bitterness, break in relationship. Save yourself from it. That's what the book is talking about. Third is governing business and relationship. To govern your business and relationship in life, how can Vedanta help you? Fourth is Moksha, Vedanta treatise. A to Z of Vedanta in English. 4 books. First time when I met my Guru in Chennai, 3 days, 1 hour each. After that I asked him, Swamiji, you answered all my questions. How will I know these things work? Because at the age of 20, I am about to leave everything and come behind you, which I am convinced. But how do these things work? I have an accountability to my parents, to my uncle, to my family. How do I tell them? How do I know these things work in real life and make a difference? For which my Guru said, Ranga, it is your life. Take it or leave it. You understand? Every lecture I conclude by saying, it is your life. Take it or please take it. Thank you for the opportunity. Wait for a few.